You guys, I am pulling double duty for the crock pots today, but I'm only sharing one recipe with y'all right now. Hey guys, my name is Vanessa and I am back with another recipe for Crocktober. I am going to be sharing minestrone. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced minestrone. I haven't Googled it yet, but I have just said minestrone for as long as I can remember, since I was a little kid. It's one of my favorite soups. I absolutely love it. And now I'm trying to find some more meatless meals to add into our lunches and dinners for my family of 6. So I'm super excited to share this recipe because it is not only pretty easy, but super yummy. So let's get right into it. Okay, so this soup is great for the fall time. It can be used for dinner or lunches. I'm actually prepping this for lunches for myself. And if my husband wants some or my daughter, then that's fine as well. This does make a ton, but I'm doing some other things for dinner this week. So I'm opting to cook this once during the weekend, and that way we can eat on it. Lunch is already prepped and it's filled with lots of green vegetables. So for this recipe, I am just using some baby carrots that I already have left over from last week. I'm gonna need about a cup, and I am going to slice those up. Then I'm also going to do a cup of sliced celery. I'm gonna chop this whole yellow onion. Then I need 28 ounces total of diced tomatoes. I already had this 14.5 ounce, so I just went ahead and picked up another one. And I opted to get one with a little extra flavoring in it because it is gonna help the soup a little bit. So this is just petite diced tomatoes with garlic and olive oil. Then I'm going to use this 6-ounce can of tomato paste. I have a Parmesan chunk here that I'm going to freshly grate. And this is just gonna go on top of the soup. It's not gonna go inside while I'm cooking it. I have some fresh garlic here, but if you already have minced garlic, I definitely love using minced garlic. It just takes a little extra step out. But I happen to have some fresh garlic, so I'm going to use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of this. It's really just how much garlic you want your soup to be. I'm gonna use 2 bay leaves. And then for seasonings, I'm gonna use some Italian seasoning and just a little bit of crushed red pepper. Okay, so when it comes to vegetable stock, I want this to be a vegetarian dish, so I'm not using chicken stock or beef stock. You could if you wanted to, but I have this seasoned vegetable base, so instead of buying stock, I'm just going to mix this with water, and that's gonna be my stock for the soup. I'm gonna be adding a can of dark red kidney beans. You do need to rinse these out first, and then I'm also gonna use a can of cannellini beans or white kidney beans. And these ones need to be drained and rinsed as well. So both beans need to be drained and rinsed. Okay, I'm going to chop up this entire zucchini. So I have a big bag of green beans here, but I'm only gonna use a cup for this soup. I have some other uses for the rest of it. And I am going to use 1.5 cups, or I might go ahead and pop this whole bag in there of baby spinach. And last but not least, I'm not using this whole box, and if you were a low carb, you could totally not add the noodles and just be more of a vegetable soup, but I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of this ditalini pasta. And that is all the ingredients for this yummy minestrone soup. So to my crock pot, I'm going to add the white and dark red kidney beans that I have rinsed and drained. Both cans of the diced tomatoes, so 28 ounces total. I'm adding a little bit more than that since each can is 14.5. I also added the small can of tomato paste, and the 2 bay leaves are going in. For the seasoning, I have a heaping tablespoon of the Italian seasoning and just a little sprinkle of the crushed red pepper. Now I'm adding 6 cups of water. So there's 2, and here's 4. And I've got 4 tablespoons of the vegetable base. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on high while I prep the vegetables. Okay, so I added the carrots, celery, onion, and garlic. All the other ingredients we are not adding right now. I am going to give this a good mix and just combine everything as well as I can. All right, getting my lid back on, and I am going to leave it on high for 3 hours. Okay, so it has been 2.5 hours, and remember we're cooking it for 3. However, I'm ready to add in some more ingredients, and this is smelling very good. So I'm going to add in 1.5 cups of my small pasta. And I also added in the large zucchini that I had. I just cut it into little bite-sized pieces. So I'm going to mix this all up again. We're going to get the lid back on. It's still on high, and I'm gonna let it cook for 25 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and add the last 2 ingredients for the last 5 minutes of cook time. Okay, time is up. You can see there the noodles have gotten a little bit bigger, but they're still pretty small in comparison to the soup, which is awesome. I'm just gonna mix this a little bit, and now I'm going to add my green beans. So I just kind of eyeballed it how much I wanted to add. I love green beans, so I probably have close to 2 cups here, because this is 1 cup, this is half a cup, but they're obviously both overflowing. So I'm going to add that in. You could use fresh or frozen, but whenever I add green beans into soup, I like to cut them into smaller pieces instead of, when you buy them fresh, they're very long. So I'm adding in the green beans. I'm gonna mix that up. And now I have this bag of baby spinach, but I'm not going to add the whole bag. I'm just gonna do 2 handfuls. This is going to wilt down and get much smaller. So 2 handfuls is plenty for this soup. So I'm just going to mix this up really good, put the cover or the lid back on, and then wait about 5 to 10 minutes, keeping the heat on high. Okay, I waited about 10 minutes because I just really wanted the green beans to be nice and softer. I still like them a little crunchy, but a little on the softer side, and plenty of time for the spinach to really wilt down. But oh my gosh, my house smells amazing, and look how beautiful this soup looks. I love making minestrone or some kind of like veggie soup because it just looks really appetizing. So I got myself a bowl, and I did freshly grate that Parmesan. You could totally add this in during the cooking process if you wanted it to have a little cheesier taste, but I just love sprinkling a little pinch on top of my soup and eating it like that. But oh, yum yum. This is gonna be our lunch for this week. I have no problem eating soup every single day. Okay, so I actually just finished eating it, and it was very, very good. The green beans, I think I'm gonna let them cook a little bit longer next time. Typically I do use frozen green beans, but I needed fresh for another recipe, so I went ahead and used those for the soup, and they were just a little too crunchy, but still yummy. Everything else was delicious. So we will definitely be eating on that the rest of this week. And this soup freezes well, even though the noodles or the pasta is already cooked. Just don't cook it for super long when you take it out of the freezer. You can easily put this soup in a freezer baggie, stick it in your freezer, and when you go to reheat it, I wouldn't use the crock pot, I would use the stove and just heat it in a pot, and that way your noodles don't get super soggy. And that's probably what we're gonna have to do, because I did go ahead and make a huge pot. It definitely makes a lot. So I hope you guys like this recipe for Crocktober. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. I have another one coming up next week. You guys asked for, well, I asked you guys for ideas and what you would like to see cooking in your crock pot, and I got a lot of requests for desserts and freezer meals. So I've got some desserts coming, some freezer meals, and then we're gonna end out the month with 5 dump and go. Super easy dump and go dinners for the crock pot. So you guys definitely are gonna want to subscribe, join my community so you don't miss any of these upcoming videos. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.